This is where the fun begins.
Clear eyes, full hearts, get loose.
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
And here we go.
So welcome everyone to Realish, where we discuss film, TV, and kind of everything around it. My name is Jessica Lemon.
I'm Derrick.
Hello. How are you? How was your week?
It was productive. Productive.
That's good.
Yeah, I like that word now.
Productive. Where you're like, I did things. I guess.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah. How was yours?
Productive. No, it was all right. My last week at Vans is this week. So last night was my last closing shift as an assistant manager.
Congratulations.
And I cannot wait to not have to be a manager for a company that doesn't really care about its people. It's
a lot of companies.
I know it sucks because they just went super corporate, but like, it's not just me. Like they've lost like 6 store managers in the past like 2 months between like a couple of our districts. A ton of ASMs have left. A lot of floor supervisors have, but basically like management, like our turnover rate used to be like almost 0. Like our turnover rate's like 50% right now. It's like really bad.
That was my old job too.
Yeah. It's like,
I was training someone new every day.
Yeah. It's like, they went corporate. They went super corporate really, really fast. It's like the founder passed away in like May or June or something, and basically from then on it was just like downhill. It's still like I still enjoy the company, but like I just can't be a manager for a company that doesn't care and says they care but they don't care.
I feel that.
But yeah, so I got to put in my 2 weeks, and I'm actually like, I'm kind of like relieved. I'm terrified. I'm so scared because this new job is like not as secure.
Yeah.
But so that means you guys have to listen to our show and share our show so that we can make money off of this show, and I don't have to be in an unsecure job. Thank you.
It'd be nice to not do a 9 to 5 anymore.
Yeah. Because literally as soon as we're done recording, I'm gonna go do that other job for like 6 hours. So I'm like, okay. Because I already spent like 2 hours working on it this morning before we started. So it's just, it's been productive. The week has been productive.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. And it does give me more freedom to just kind of, we can record more fluidly, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I can do like more acting stuff. I'm just excited. This new job's going to give me some freedom. And
that's good.
And that's what I need. I'm stressed, but like whatever. What am I not?
Hey, and look, maybe when COVID settles down and the world begins to open up, as the show grows, we can do live shows.
That'd be so fun.
That'd be amazing.
I went to I always talk about them, Em and Christine from And That's Why We Drink. They're my literally favorite like I have their Tumblr right now. Like I love them. And they did a live show tour. They've done 2, and I got to go to their second one in February right before COVID hit.
Oh wow.
So February, like the middle of it was like February like 15th or something. Me and my boyfriend at the time went to San Francisco to see them live, and it was such a fun show. I was like I want to do this, like, and this was before I even had my own podcast, before I met you, so I was like, I want to do this. I would love to do a live show. That'd be so much fun. I'd love to just like chat with like our listeners like in person, or like like I just think it'd be really, really fun.
And think about how many rants will go on with that.
Oh my God. We're going to have like for sure, like a tour manager, like right there with like like, those like dog collars that like buzz. They don't shock, but they like buzz. I'm going to have one, because I'm just going to keep talking, and we're going to have our tour manager or our manager or assistant, whoever, like off to the side, just buzzing like all the time. Like, okay, I'll stop. It's going to be like a Pavlov, going to like train me to not talk so much.
We'll get there one day.
One day.
We'll get there.
Maybe like
Yeah.
let's put that as a goal. Let's manifest that. Let's put that into the
Oh,
universe.
yeah.
A year from today. What is today?
Oh,
September 6th.
September 6th,
So by
2021.
September, so by September 2022, the world will be open. We won't be full of awful people on the planet because they'll all be taking horse tranquilizers, or horse dewormers. So they'll all be gone. We won't have to worry about them anymore. And we'll be able to tour and we'll be able to go and like talk to people in person about movies. Maybe we'll be invited to like premieres.
Oh, look, film premieres, film festivals. I would love to do those.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
even once like the world opens up again, if we can go to like festivals and just like do a show from a festival, just like set up a table. Like
Yeah.
got my laptop with some like hotspot Wi-Fi. Like we'll
Mhm.
just do
Oh,
a
yeah.
live show from a festival.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll be invited to do it.
Yeah.
We
I
won't just
crash
show
it.
up. They'll
Yeah,
be like,
yeah.
they'll be like, hey, you guys, your show's really great. Like, come to our festival. And I'll be like, okay.
That'd be funny to be the
Um,
wedding crashers of podcasts.
Oh my, the pod crashers.
The pod crashers.
Oh my god.
That'd be hilarious.
TM. Trademark. Um, well, I am glad. I'm excited to be back. I think we should just kind of jump into some of our news stories for this week. Did you have any
Yeah.
news stories?
I literally just saw that Venom 2 got moved up again. This is the fifth release date that they've posted, but I think it comes out October 1st now. So they actually
When was it supposed to be released?
Originally, I don't even remember anymore. I don't even remember anymore. I think it was sometime later earlier this year, and then they pushed it, and yeah, now pushed again.
October 15th is what it's saying now.
Yeah, they're saying October 1st now, because it wasn't.
It's supposed to be later in the year, and now Venom 2 release date moves up 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah. So, with Spider-Man Far Away From Home.
I wonder if that's why they moved it up. Far From Home. Far Away From Home.
Far away. When he was in space, he was far away.
That's
yeah. But yeah, I guess with that coming out, and the also with the success of Shang-Chi.
That's my first story. Is just the success. Like Labor Day records with $71.4 million theatrical box office.
Yeah.
Like that's incredible, especially the way that things are slowly kind of going back into just real life again.
Yeah.
And like more theaters are being open, a lot more people are vaccinated, a lot of places are opening at higher capacities. So like this, I think, is like the first film that's had like a solid theatrical release. Because I mean, what was the last one we were talking about? Only made like 20 million, and we're like, wow, that's really good because everything's been closed.
I forgot what that was, but yeah,
I can't remember either.
Yeah, they but see, the thing about it is what's interesting is with Shang-Chi, they're gonna do the 55-day theatrical release, and then it's gonna be on Disney Plus.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so I'm waiting until.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go see it in theaters. I'm still really iffy on like going to the theaters. Like, yeah. But I mean, granted, here, everything is still pretty much you have to get your ticket online in advance, and like once you book your tickets, I think like 2 seats on either side of what you book, I think are still like closed off. So basically,
so it's 2 on your left and 2 on your right that are empty. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying it was 1 on each side.
No. So it's like you book 3 seats, but really you have like 7.
So how does that work if you're with like a date?
Well, you book the seats. So you buy the seats like online prior to going to the theater, you pick the 2 seats that you want. So you pick those 2 seats, and then 2 seats to the left and 2 seats to the right will be empty. So they'll basically close off those seats so that so nobody can purchase those tickets. I don't know if that's exactly still how it is, but that's how it was a few months ago. It might have changed a little bit because I know that like I work in Burbank, and there's like 3 movie theaters in downtown Burbank, and the parking lots around where those theaters have been pretty packed lately.
Okay.
But there's also a bunch of restaurants and stuff. You know, people
Yeah.
are actually going out and doing things again. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, no, this release is amazing. 71.4 million, especially they I remember reading something like when was it? I don't know, like 2 or 3 months ago. It was a while ago.
Mm.
When like things were, or maybe when the trailer released, I don't remember. But people were talking about how they were afraid it wasn't going to do well just because it was like an all Asian cast, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's still, for whatever reason, is new
Mm-hmm.
to cinema.
Yeah.
Because it's like, and with like the kind of flop that Mulan ended up being.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that made them nervous for real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think because of the way, but also they released it in the middle of a pandemic. Like, obviously, you're not going to make any money. Like,
Yeah.
but
That was
also,
the thing I didn't understand about that. Plus, also making it to where you have to pay for it on Disney
yeah,
Plus.
yeah,
Like
and that
there's
was
gonna
like
be
that was the
significantly
first
less
one that
people.
they that was the first one that they did that with, right? The premiere
Yeah.
access was Mulan. So like, I
Yeah.
think it was like it makes me mad because it's like they used that movie as an experiment
Mm-hmm.
on what they're gonna do, and it
Which
did
they really
bad.
shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, and it
Not with
didn't do
that film.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because it didn't do well, it's like, oh, it didn't do well because it was like lead Asians, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, Crazy Rich Asians did really well. That movie was brilliant. I love that movie. I've watched that movie like a half a dozen times.
I still have to watch it, but
Ugh.
the fact that Mushu isn't in there pissed me off.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch Mulan.
Okay.
So, but I did read that Mushu, and I was like, excuse me.
Yeah, he was
I was
like
like,
the
one of
bright
the
spot.
whole, yeah, I was like, one of like the whole themes of that movie was that like it was, you had that like comedic element with Mushu, but I think
Yeah.
they went with more of like the serious like historical side of the story, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And took away like the spiritual like guidance things that Mushu
Yeah.
was. So I'm gonna watch it eventually. It actually popped up with what we're watching this week when I
Yeah.
finished watching it, because I watched it like 2 more times.
Yeah.
When I finished it, it was like, want to play Mulan next, and I was like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, it
But no,
popped up for me too.
yeah, I'm really happy that this did really well. I don't really know the story very well. I just know that it was like a character, and um like a comic book character, and then it wasn't, I don't know if it was like a super popular comic book character, but they kind of like brought it back up recently, and
Mm-hmm.
I am excited to see it. I think it's going to be good. I definitely wasn't sure of it prior, just because I've never heard of the character.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm seeing like all of the reviews and seeing like how well it did. I'm like, okay, so like this is going to be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to seeing it too.
yeah,
I don't know anything about Shang-Chi either.
me either. Yeah, nothing.
He was definitely a lesser known comic book character, especially compared to like, Iron Man, Captain America, and all those guys.
Mhm.
But yeah, I didn't know much, but I think that comic book came out like in the 70s though. So it's been
Mm.
around for a while, but
So it's
yeah,
not new.
yeah. He's
It's
definitely
not
not
some like
new.
new character. Like,
Yeah,
no, okay.
yeah.
Oh, it's the article I'm reading. It says that it'll have a 45-day run. Some of the studios releases this year, including Black Widow, premiere, strong opening. The forecasts had been closer to 50 million, so they made 71.
Yeah.
But cool. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see it. It did really, really well just this weekend. So I think it's gonna be a good movie. Anybody that's listening, if you've seen it, what do you guys think?
Yeah. Please don't spoil it though.
Yes, don't spoil it. Don't let Derrick see the trailer.
Yeah.
So to kind of stay within like Marvel, we're back on Black Widow and Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
The Black Widow lawsuit may keep the Russo brothers from directing another Marvel movie.
Yeah, okay, so I saw that headline and I didn't get to watch the article. What is the
You didn't get
how
to
is that?
watch the article.
I'm sorry, what?
You didn't get to watch the article.
Is that what I said?
Yep.
My bad. I was so stuck on the trailer. No, I didn't. I didn't get to read the article because I saw the headline, but I was doing some stuff already, so I didn't even get to read it. But what's the purpose? Like, what's going to hold them back from working on with Marvel again?
Basically, they've just kind of hit like a what they've written is they've hit an impasse in negotiations to direct another Marvel movie. So I think it may just have to do with like how streaming is going to move forward,
Yeah.
and how things are going to be paid moving forward in streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like unsure how their next movie will be distributed and how they would be paid. um I was reading, or I was talking to my roommate about this earlier, and he was saying that that's how I like found out about it, because this was only released like an hour or two ago.
Mhm.
And he was saying that Disney's like doesn't know like how they'll pay people for like streaming stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like they literally had no intention of paying Scarlett Johansson for her
Oh,
streams for Black Widow.
it's beyond
It's-
apparent.
It's like it's literally like they just said it again. It's like, we don't know how we're going to pay for streaming. Okay, so you literally had no plan
Yeah.
to pay these actors for their work.
Which is irresponsible.
Yeah.
It's irresponsible because you think you're going to come out with this service. You know you're coming out with this service years ago. You
Yeah, it's
should
not new.
know.
It's like this has been in development for a while.
Yeah, this is definitely not new. So you know that you're going to do something like this. You have to develop a plan in terms of knowing, like, we all knew, well, especially if you've been like in the film industry, you know how things progress with technology. And like, theaters weren't going to be the only way that we were going to be watching new releases. Like the pandemic just propelled that.
Yeah,
It
it definitely
fast-tracked
shot
that.
everything for. Yeah, fast
Yeah,
track, that's the word.
yeah. So there was no way we were going to avoid doing this, especially with the rise of Netflix and all that other stuff. Like that was apparent. Netflix does well with their original films, so you know they're able to pay their people, you know, what they when they work. So Disney should be able to do the same. I
Yeah.
don't really get the reason why now. I was like a shock.
Yeah, they're like, oh my god, I have to do that. And it's like I did an episode of the In-Betweeners that was on MTV in 2011. It aired in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
I had a speaking role, you know, so I get paid royalties for that.
Yeah.
It's not much. I get paid. I will randomly get a check for like 50 cents from MTV. Like, it's really weird. But I'm like, I'm a working actor. Look, my 50 cents. I really do put in my 2 cents with them.
Yeah.
No, but like that was 10 years ago.
Mhm.
And you know, if somebody watches the episode online, if something's like mentioned, whatever, like I get royalties for that. And it's like,
Right.
that was 10 years ago and I still get paid for that show.
Right.
As minimal as it is, you know, like I still get stuff from that.
Mhm.
And like, I don't see why they're able to track that kind of stuff. Like, somebody watches the episode online once, you
Mhm.
know, like they that's like, oh, those people get paid like 10 cents each for this episode being viewed by somebody. So
Mhm.
it's like, you can do that on like a bigger scale. When it comes to like Netflix, they track everything. They know what's
Yeah.
trending. They know what's being viewed. So they
Yeah.
know what people are watching. So it's like, they know that like if 1,000 people are watching Black Widow right now,
Mhm.
like they know that
Oh, yeah.
that they can take a percent of those views and pay their people. So it's for Disney to be like, oh, I don't know, we don't know how we're going to move forward with like paying for streaming. It's like, have you been paying like all of these movies from like the 80s 90s that you have the 80s 90s and 2000s that you have on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Like, are you not paying royalties when people watch these things? Like,
Well, yeah, especially if something's syndicated or whatever, like
Mhm.
you have to pay. That
yeah,
doesn't,
exactly.
there's no way around that. Like
Yeah.
Netflix doesn't share their financials with different streams,
Mhm.
but they know what it is. So
Yeah.
you definitely know what people are watching. You
I think-
know how much everything costs. It's not like this is free. People
Yeah.
are not making these films
Dude,
for free.
Disney's making literally like $1 billion like a month on Disney Plus subscriptions. Like they can pay their people. Like they're just greedy. I think that's really what it is. I think
Mhm.
Disney's just money hungry, and it's just become so corporate, and that's just kind of what the US is right now. It's just
Yeah.
so corporate, where these CEOs are making billions of dollars, and then like people that work for them are getting the short end of the stick.
My
you know, and it's like
fear.
I'm seeing that firsthand with my job, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like we
yeah,
went
yeah.
corporate and I'm literally seeing people drop like flies because
Mm-hmm.
we're not being respected and we're not
Right,
being compensated for the work that we're doing,
right.
and we're exhausted. And oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, our district manager literally told us that we shouldn't be exhausted. He was like, your numbers are the same, like why are you exhausted? We're like, bro, we are literally still in a pandemic, like we still have
Yeah,
to deal with like it's just insane. But like
yeah,
I just it's just very corporate, and
yeah.
it's really shitty for the people on the ends of things because they're just getting the shit end of the stick.
Oh yeah.
And it's
And
like,
my fear is that this is what's going to damage the MCU as a whole,
yeah, which is scary
because
because it's such a I can't think of the word, but it's such like a safe space for people.
hmm
You know, the Marvel
and
universe really is.
yeah, and on top of that, we have characters that we have not seen yet. We've been
Yeah,
wanting to
we've talked
see
about that.
Fantastic
Like,
Four, X-Men. We've been wanting
oh
to see all
gosh,
these
Fantastic Four
guys.
done so well.
You
It's
know,
like we want to see these characters. We
yeah,
want to see these
Blade.
movies done well. Oh my god, yeah. Like there's so many, and these are just characters that like have had things done in the past. Like there's hundreds of characters that people absolutely love in the comics that would
Hmm.
make really great films.
Yeah,
And we talked about this when we watched Suicide Squad. It's like some of
yeah,
these characters, they have their own comic series. They've got like 100 comics, and it's like
yeah,
I've never heard of them,
yeah.
but they've added these characters in. And you're like, oh wow, these are actually really cool people. I want to find out more about them.
Hmm.
And like Marvel has that too. There's so many characters that we don't have movies for, we don't have shows for,
Hmm.
that could potentially be brought in and make a ton of money for the company. But like, are people going to want to work for Disney to make these movies if they're
Right,
not going to pay them their fair share?
right.
And I know like some people are going to be like, oh, but they're already making like millions of dollars. Why didn't need any more? And it's like, I think I talked about this like before with Scarlett when we talked about her like lawsuit. It was just like, if you're told you're going to make $100 but you only get $20,
Hmm.
like you're going to fight for that other 80. Like,
As you should.
yeah. And it's like,
Yeah.
if you know that what you're doing is supposed to pay you $100 but a company's only paying you $20, you're
Hmm.
going to fight for that other $80 because that's
Hmm.
not fair. It's like,
And it's what they owe.
yeah, and it's what's owed. It's how the industry is. Like there's so
Hmm.
much more. I think a lot of people think like film industry stuff is like, oh well, it's just like a camera and stuff, but like there's so much that goes into
Oh
it. Like
my
for
God.
somebody to just sit down and watch a 2-hour movie, it takes months to
Yeah,
film.
sometimes
And then,
years.
well, yeah, it's to say, it's like it takes months to film everything. It takes a year or two prior to plan everything and write everything. It takes months and months later to edit and add in music and the sound, and there's hundreds of people that go into it. So
Sound
it's,
design alone is,
yeah.
oh my God.
And it's like, and it takes hundreds of people to put these things together so you
Hmm.
can sit on your ass and watch a movie for 2 hours,
Yeah.
you know? And it's like, yeah, they're making millions of dollars, but they're also spending millions of dollars.
Oh yeah.
And just on locations, just on equipment, just on cars,
Hmm.
like that kind of money's being spent on that. And then you have to pay
CGI.
yeah, you have to pay your crew, you have to
Yeah.
pay your caterers, you have to
Hmm.
pay the location people, you have to pay your actors, and it all has to be like, you can't just pay somebody like $20 a day, you
Yeah.
know, like these actors, if they're on like SAG, you're making like $1,000 a day, like minimum,
Yeah.
you know. And if you're on a contract and you're going to be making 20, 30, 40 million dollars, Jesus,
Yeah.
one day,
and
one
and
day,
and
like,
not to speak of, also you have to get these permits to shoot in different
oh my God, the
places.
permits and stuff to film in certain
That's a
cities,
process
certain
alone.
places. Yeah, that's a process to get the permit itself, but you also pay for the permit. Like you can't just do shit for free.
Hmm.
So like, and like it depends too, like on what you're filming and where you're going. Like sometimes they'll shut down streets, you
Yeah.
know, so they have to prep and
Whole
prepare for that.
blocks.
Like, yeah, whole lot. Even here, like we haven't gotten it here, but certain like streets and stuff, if they're filming something,
Hmm.
like they'll put a thing on people's doors, like we're like, hey, like this production,
Yeah.
you can't park your car on the street
Yeah.
or your driveway,
Yeah.
because the company basically buys out that street for like the day or something, or like a
Hmm.
couple of days. So you
Hmm.
have to park somewhere else because maybe they're using that street for a period piece, you
Hmm.
know, and like they need like not a period piece, but like something from like the 60s. So they're going to bring in a bunch of cars from the 60s,
Mhm.
and they can't have a 2021
Yeah.
Ford truck in somebody's driveway, you
Yeah.
know? So it's like there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of planning. It's a lot with everything that costs a ton of money.
Mhm.
And
And that
you
100
can't
million that Scarlett makes isn't just for her.
No, yeah, she has to pay her people. She has to pay her
Agents and all.
publicists, her agents, her managers, her
Yeah.
stylists,
Yeah.
like all of that. Like she makes 100 million, but she probably
Taxes.
I was like taxes come out of that because those are the rich people that actually get taxed. Like
Oh yeah, heavily
unlike
too.
like the Bezos of the world. But like, you know, so taxes come out. They have to pay their teams, and like sometimes their teams are like 20 people.
Mhm.
You know, and they have to pay those 20 people
Mhm.
whatever it is. So that it's like they still need to make a profit, but it's like out of that money, all of these other people are getting paid, and it's just like a whole thing, and it just like blows my mind. But I do think like the Russo brothers have directed so many of Marvel films that are just great, you know, like, and they're such great directors. They're such a great team, and they know what people want to see. They know what's going to sell. They know what's going to do really well.
And they plan perfectly too.
They do. Like them and their team are just great.
Yeah.
And it's going to suck if because of Disney's greed, we're going to lose good content. Like we're going to lose good creative people.
Yeah.
Because of greed.
I think what's going to end up happening is you're going to see more people that are from that are Marvel characters in general that end up kind of pushing back. That's going to force the hand of Disney to do the right thing. It's going to be a fight for a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
But I can see them coming back to doing these movies, because there's no way when you look at the bigger picture, like with the movies that are going to come, you're going to want the Russo brothers on the projects.
And I think it's they just have such a passion for the Marvel Cinematic Universe too, that I think they'll fight for it. I don't think they're going to be like, okay, well, bye. You know, I think they're going to be the type of people that'll fight to get what their movie needs and what their actors need.
Most definitely.
So, outside of that, they are directing a new movie with, oh no, where'd it go? Oh, I just had it. Gosh darn it. They're directing a new movie with Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling. There it is. It's called The Gray Man, with Chris Evans, Ryan Gosling, and they're CIA spies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I guess it's a Netflix collaboration.
Good, because they did a great job with Extraction.
Yeah, I was gonna say they did that with Chris Hemsworth. So So The Gray Man, it's touted as Netflix's most expensive movie. So it's Netflix's most expensive movie, directed by the Russo brothers, starring Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. That's
gonna be very good. A summer 2022 release date. So next summer,
right around the corner.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that's exciting.
Right around the corner. Thank you for the yawn. Jesus.
Yeah, sorry, yawning's contagious. This next one, this is like another one we can kind of chat about, and then I got a couple quick ones. We kind of know a little bit of what's going on in Afghanistan and everything that's happening with like the Taliban, and it's just really, really rough. But there's a lot of like filmmakers from Afghanistan, and there's like a lot of people kind of dealing with all of that. So this article is talking about like Afghan filmmakers at Venice fear loss of their identity and their culture. Specifically their female filmmakers, because it's becoming a thing again where the Taliban is kind of just really, really suppressing women. Like women are like who were working, who had jobs, who were doing all of these things are no longer allowed to leave their home for fear of getting killed, just like on the street, you know? It's terrifying. And so some of these filmmakers, female filmmakers who were able to flee, they're what they're saying is they're begging the world to not forget the Afghan people and to support its artists. So it's just like I'm like getting teary because I'm just like thinking about like how terrifying that is.
Yeah.
Just like in general, being like a woman in the entertainment industry sucks. But to put that on top of everything that's happening overseas and like what's going on, like it's just a lot.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough.
But yeah, so Afghan female filmmakers who fled the Taliban begged the world to not forget the Afghan people and to support its artists, warning Saturday that a country without culture will eventually lose its identity, which is kind of what's happening. You know, they're Taliban's kind of just like wiping everything out. The Venice Film Festival organized a panel discussion on Saturday to give a platform to Sahra Karimi, the first female president of the Afghan Film Organization, a documentary filmmaker, Sahra Mani, who is presenting a project at the Venice Film Market Fair. Karimi choked up while telling reporters about her own escape, in which she had just hours to decide whether to stay or leave, and all that had been lost after the Taliban completed their takeover of the country. She talked about a bunch of films that were in pre and post production, workshops that had been organized, insurance policies negotiated for equipment, and said that Afghan directors were increasingly being welcomed at international film festivals, which is amazing. And then Karimi herself had presented a film at the film festival in 2019. And she says, it's our dream to change the narrative of Afghanistan because we were tired of those cliches about Afghanistan. We wanted to produce films, movies, and to tell our stories from different angles, from different perspectives, to show the beauty of our country. I'm getting emotional.
Yeah. No,
it's like,
that sucks because we have a lot of stories
and it's
that
all
have not been told.
Yeah, and like I feel like a ton of what we see in the media these days, literally for the past 20 years, it's literally the past 20 years. We're coming up on 9/11 next Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, so it's been 20 years, and all I've known and all I've seen is desert and women completely covered head to toe, like not being able to do anything, poverty, and the only thing that like we've seen is like American soldiers coming in and giving food to babies, like, but it's not what it's like. Like it's a country with people that are doing things and they're normal and they have families and they have interests, like they have films that they want to make. They want to make movies. They want to be artists. They want to be, you know, politicians. They want to be newscasters. They want to be, I don't know, cruise ship drivers, pilots, like whatever. Like they're human. And it's like growing up this past 20 years, all we've seen are these cliches of a destroyed country.
Right.
When, you know, I think in like the 70s, like I remember reading an article about Afghan women in like the 70s, and like I wouldn't have been able to tell you that was like I would have been like, oh, those people are from like Michigan, you know, like you know, like, or Chicago, and they're just chilling out in the like with their like tank tops on, or they're like, oh no, oh my god, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know what I did. I hit something and okay, sorry. I hit something and then my computer just but it's like these people, like it's like when you think of like in Africa stereotype, you think of like huts and like people with like grass skirts and shit. And that's literally like not it. It's like there's all these stereotypes for things. It's like, but there's some places in Africa that are stunning, that have 5-star hotels and you know, all of these things. And it's like you like wouldn't think of that because of all of the cliches that media puts out there.
Mhm.
So for these women to literally make a decision to leave their country
Mhm.
with hours, you know,
Yeah.
like everything happening, like, oh well, we're either going to stay and be trapped in our home, or we're going to get what we can and just leave.
Yeah.
Like, to just pack up and go is crazy. And so their dream is to change the narrative of Afghanistan, and like I really hope that they can. I hope that like the world is gonna welcome them and their films and what they're talking about to, you know, break those stereotypes. I feel like we're in a place right now in society, just world society, where we are
Mhm.
breaking stereotypes. We
Mhm.
are pushing past all of that to see people for who they are versus for what they look like.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And our generation is very much the one that's like not putting people in boxes as much.
Yeah.
And I think that's really good. It's still scary what's going on overseas, and
Mhm.
you know, I still don't know a ton about it. Even literally just reading these two lines, like I'm getting teary. Like it's really hard for me to like take all that in, and that, I mean, just shows like a ton of my privilege where I can just kind of scroll past
Yeah.
those articles, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I did see this one, and I did really want to talk about it because it is very prevalent in the political climate of things right now, as well as, you know, it's film, and that's what we talk
Yeah.
about, and that's what
Yeah.
we go over is we talk about films. And these are filmmakers, women filmmakers from Afghanistan that are trying to, you know, change the world, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Akarimi said, imagine a country without artists, a country without filmmakers. How can they defend its identity? Maybe we're not politically ambassadors, but we are ambassadors of our stories. We are ambassadors of our identity.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just like very, very strong words. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Oh God. And then she goes, we're those people that represent our identity to the world through our films, through our music, through our creative works, but we are now homeless. The most difficult decision, she fled on the morning of August 15th with just a few hours to make the most difficult decision of your life, to stay or leave. I'll send you this article so we can put it in the like the show notes and stuff, but it's really good. You know, she said we're optimists.
Yeah.
She said, but with the Taliban takeover, it means we don't have anything to fight for. We lost everything. And that's kind of how the article ends. But yeah, I will send you this. This is a ABC News article about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure there's like definitely more, but like it's just so much.
Yeah. Hopefully they're able to come and set up here if they're able to,
Yeah.
and
I think
do that.
having I know that there's like a ton of refugee programs going on around the world right now, specifically for Afghanistan residents, or I mean, I guess they're not really residents anymore,
Yeah.
but refugees. You know, they're trying to get away from the Taliban. It's literally destroying their country, and
Yeah.
it's scary that that's happening. Like it's almost as if what they're kind of saying is like Afghanistan's almost being like erased.
Mm-hmm.
And if these women like and these filmmakers like aren't there to tell the story of what Afghanistan is, it's just going to be gone. And it's crazy, but it won't be, you know, like these people are going to tell their stories, and they're going to make these films, and they're going to make people see that the cliches aren't the only thing that exists. So
Most definitely. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Good.
I'm fine. But yeah, let's take a break so I can compose myself. And then before we jump into things, literally, I just have a few headlines. But let's take a break. Let me get myself together really quick, and we'll be right back.
We'll be back.
Hi, hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. My name is Jessica Lemon, and I am the host of Sour, Sweet, and Spooky, a paranormal podcast with a little true crime squeezed in. Because where there's paranormal activity, there's gotta be some kind of true crime involved, right? I talk about ghosts, aliens, murder, cryptids, urban legends, conspiracy theories, and more. Stories from all over the world for you to enjoy every week. So check me out on social media at Sour Sweet Spooky and pretty much every platform that podcasts are found. And be ready for a brand new story. Oh, and remember, stay sour, stay sweet, stay spooky.
So we're back. I feel a little bit better. I'm fine. Quick, just a couple of headline reads right before we jump into our review this week of Cruella. Kristen Stewart is playing Diana, and she says that there's a huge, vast difference between her loss of privacy as a teenager when she was doing like Twilight and everything, and like the loss of privacy that Princess Diana had to deal with. So she's kind of going through that. Yeah. So that's, I think, super cool. Not cool, but I mean super interesting for her to kind of see how things were for like the royal family. So that's pretty interesting. Maggie Gyllenhaal is making her directing debut.
Nice.
And it's Ferrante, I think is the movie. I think that's what it's called, or film adaptation of Ferrante.
Okay.
Oh no, the writing. That's the writing. Elena Ferrante to direct The Lost Daughter. I guess The Lost Daughter is a book. She's going to turn it into a movie. It's going to be her directorial debut, which is exciting. Maggie Gyllenhaal has been in the industry forever. Her and Jake have been doing things for 20 plus years, 30 years really, because they've been doing stuff since the 90s. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see her debut as a director. Dune, because we're gonna watch Dune when it comes out, and I cannot wait. Director Denis Villeneuve and Timothy Chalamet, Timothy Chalamet, they premiered at the Venice Film Festival. So Dune premiered. It wasn't, I don't think it was competing in anything, but it did premiere, and it was an honor of a lifetime, Chalamet said Friday at the Venice Film Festival. And he goes, I hope we get to do a second one. It would be a dream, but it's already been a dream come true. So I think that's really cute. I'm very excited to see the movie. I cannot wait.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
And our last little fun news thing, that's not really film, but I guess it kind of is, because they made an entire visual album. Miss Beyonce is 40. She just had her 40th birthday a couple of days ago. And I just wanted to point that out because she's a queen. Literally Queen Bey. So I just wanted to throw that in there. And I mean, it's kind of, I was gonna say it is kind of like film related, because like her visuals are phenomenal always, and like stunning. So it is, I feel like it is kind of like it's film related. I
might have to rewatch that pretty soon, because that was, I love that. I love that. I didn't listen to the album per se, but I did go back and listen to a couple tracks after watching it. That they did a great job with that.
Bowie, sir, stay with me. I know you got your crunchy toy and you love your crunchy toy, but mommy's recording. I can't have you crunching away at your toy. It's got like that like crunchy paper on the inside, so when it's like, you know, like baby toys that have that like paper just for like, it's that, and he just sits there, just goes like this, just crunch. Okay, so that's kind of like, I just wanted to go through a quick few headlines for a quick couple things because I'm just excited about some of that stuff. So let's jump into our review of Disney. We just talked so much shit about Disney, and we're like, we're making a review of their new movie.
Well, right is right, wrong is wrong.
Yeah. Listen, it was a good movie. We are talking about Disney's Cruella.
Yes.
I love this movie. I love Emma Stone. I was really unsure of the movie when I first heard it was announced. Before I knew that Emma Stone was connected, I just saw the like, oh, Disney's making a live action Cruella movie. Like, why? Like, what is it going to be about? Like,
Yeah.
but I was excited because of Maleficent, and I loved
Oh yeah.
Maleficent.
I didn't get to watch the second one yet.
Oh, it's really good. The first one's better, but the second one's still pretty good.
Okay.
I've watched it a few times, so it's got that rewatch value.
Good.
But yeah, no, I was excited because of Maleficent and how great that movie was, and I did enjoy that a lot. I had like my like on it just because I wasn't sure how they were gonna like make Cruella like the protagonist, you know?
Yeah.
And then when I saw Emma Stone was because I was like, why is Emma Stone being cast as Cruella?
Yeah.
And then I was reading, I was like, yeah, I was like, wait, why? I was like, Cruella's this like icky old lady. Like, what are you talking about? And then it was like kind of like her origin story. And I was like, oh, okay. So we're gonna find out like why she became the way she was. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. The acting in it was great. The cast was amazing. I loved the cast. I loved that Emma Thompson. Oh, I hit my mic and now I have to announce it. But I loved that Emma Thompson was the Baroness. She's so good. Joel Fry and Paul Walter Hauser played Jasper and Horace, and they're both great. I love Joel Fry. He was actually in Game of Thrones, and he gets his head cut off.
Hold on. Game of Thrones?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Who did he play in Game of Thrones?
He plays oh my god, his character's name is ridiculous. It's his Dahar Zolrak. He was in like 8 episodes. He plays oh, that's not what I meant. No. He's like one of the guys that, you know, in when Daenerys is in that village that has like the slaves, I think with like the neck collars.
Yeah.
I think he's one of like the masters, or like one of like, he's like in one of the houses of like the masters or something.
I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's been a while since I've seen it, but when was he in that? When were those episodes? 2015. So it's been like 6 years since those came out. 2014, 2015 is the season he was in. That's the first season, isn't it?
20.
No.
Wait, they had 8 seasons.
The most recent one ended in 2019.
Yeah,
it's probably like the second season.
11. Yeah, that's to be the second or third season.
Probably the third season.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was in that. And I liked him in that, and it was nice to kind of see him in another role, a more like fun role.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Walter Hauser, I've seen him in things before, but I don't quite remember. Let me see. He was in Black Klansman. Oh, that was a good movie.
Oh, yeah, he was. It's hilarious how sometimes you like some of these actors you've seen in other things and don't pick up on them.
Yeah, you don't realize that they're there. He was also in Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I never watched
Raymond. That. It was good. Cobra Kai was good.
I've been hearing that. I just can't. For some reason.
I like wasn't sure of it. I was like, no, like I'm not gonna watch. But it's a good like family show, if that makes sense. Like it's a good family show with like properly done nostalgia from like the original. Like it's good. I haven't watched the most recent season. I'm like a season behind. But it's good. But yeah, no, the cast is amazing. You also have I've never seen this person before, but John Mccrae, he played Artie. So he played like the artisty dude.
He did a great job.
I loved his character so much.
Phenomenal.
So much. and I really want to like see him in some more stuff. Like I want to watch some of, because he's still fairly like new to the US market. He did a bunch of stuff in like the early 2000s, I think, as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, The Sandman. Yeah, Cruella. He's in She Will, and everybody's talking about Jamie. Those are coming out this year, already came out. But I'm excited to see more from him.
Yeah, he did a really good job.
Yeah. And then Mark Strong, who played like the butler.
Yeah.
I love him. He's great. But yeah, no, like the cast was amazing. Oh, Kirby Howell Baptiste played Anita. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I loved her. I love that she's Anita, and I love the way that they've tied everything together. With Anita and Roger.
Mm-hmm. I actually didn't pick up on that until the
end credit scene.
End credit scene. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that the entire time.
Really?
Yeah, because to be completely honest, like I watched 101 Dalmatians as a kid, but like I watched the animated one a few times, and then the live action one I watched that a couple of times, but once that was it, like that was it for me. I honestly didn't care about 101 Dalmatians like I did about like The Lion King or Toy Story or whatever, right?
See, I know what you mean. I loved all of those, but I loved 101 Dalmatians. I had a stuffed Dalmatian dog from the movie. I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of them.
Yeah.
But like it was one of the main like puppies.
Yeah.
But I had that as a stuffed. I'm almost certain I still have it like at my parents' house. But I had that stuffed puppy forever, for the longest time. I loved animals a lot. So I loved 101 Dalmatians. So when it was like, oh, and this is Anita, and I was like, Anita?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And then I think at like one point they like mentioned like Roger's name, and I was like, or no, it was the scene when they're like, oh, Roger's he just plays the piano all day, or like he goes home and plays the piano, and I was like, oh, wait, that's that Roger. Oh my God. And then of course they tied it together at the end when the after credit scene where they have the puppies, and it was funny because when everything I feel like we're just jumping into this stuff. Okay, so the movie
basically
so the storyline of the movie is basically about it's Cruella de Vil. It's how she becomes Cruella de Vil. So she was born Estella. That is her name, is Estella, and she wishes to become a fashion designer, having been gifted with talent, innovation, and ambition in all equal measures. But life seems intent on making sure her dreams never come true. She ends up being orphaned at 12 years old, and 10 years later, Estella runs wild through the city streets with her best friends and partners in petty crime, Horace and Jasper.
Which I like how they met up.
Yeah, I think it's fun. Like they met up as kids, and they had like the dog and everything. But I really like how it went. Like I like that she's like a fashion designer and she wants to, be creative, and she's so unique because she was born with the split hair, and then they get in trouble with the law, and she's like this 10-12-year-old kid, and she's like, I need to dye my hair. And then she becomes this redhead, and it's just really, and it's a really pretty red color, like it's like a burgundy like red, it's really pretty. And they basically just are doing petty crime for like and that's all they do, is just all this petty crime. But then Mr. Jasper is like, I know that you're into fashion, so I got you a job at the place that's like a dream for fashion people to work for.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, she's like like a janitor, kind of just like a maid, like she's just doing cleaning, but
Mhm.
she's persistent and she's constantly pushing to try to get a job, even as like a seamstress, as anything other than the maid for the
Mhm.
shop. And the
Mhm.
guy, her boss, is an asshole and was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
no. So he asks her to clean her office, or he asks her to clean his office.
He didn't ask her.
Oh no, he like basically demands her. He basically demands that she clean his office top to bottom. She cannot
Yeah.
leave until it is spotless.
Yeah.
And she's taking out the trash, or she sees his alcohol and gets drunk on his alcohol. And as she's taking out the
Yeah.
trash, there's this window display that she's been just like like since it was put up. She hates
Yeah.
it. She thinks it's the ugliest thing in the world. And she's drunk. She doesn't give a shit. She goes into that window display and creates something amazing.
Yeah.
Passes out in the window display and gets woken up by her boss in the morning. But the big honcho, the Baroness, who basically owns the shop and is the biggest designer in the city, comes in and sees it and was like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Who did that? And the boss, her Estella's boss, is just like, damn it. Like, wow.
He was so confused.
He was so excited to be like, oh, she's fired. Like it was a disaster. She's fired. And the Baroness is like, no, she's gonna come work for me.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool. It's like some like weird, crazy way for her to get into where she wants to be. And then she's just doing all this designing. She's actually being a designer. And I liked how Emma Stone's character wasn't like timid with the Baroness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
She
like
didn't hold back.
yeah, she was like, no, that doesn't look good, or like, no, this
Yeah.
would be better. And I really enjoyed that, because I feel like a lot of times when you get that kind of dynamic in movies where like you have like the assistant, or you have that person, and then you have like the main person that like makes all the decisions, it's like, oh, what about this idea? And they're like, no, I don't like it. And then you're like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, or they're like, oh, like I did this, and they're like, do this instead. And then they're like, it doesn't look good. And they're like, no, it does, do it. You know, it's like, she was like, no, this looks bad, I'm gonna fix it. And she's like, this is what I would do. And she's like, oh, that actually is better. I liked that they had that dynamic. It wasn't just like this like crazy like headstrong person as like the CEO or whatever. Like they actually were, she like the Baroness was actually taking input from Estella, which I liked. I feel like that was very different, I feel, from what I've seen in movies before.
It was a good mentor-mentee dynamic.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good.
I enjoyed that a lot. But I swear to God, if this movie does not win an Oscar for costume design, I'm gonna burn the city down. This film, the dresses, the costumes, the way that things were done were just out of this world. So amazing.
Yeah.
Because like I think my favorite dress was like the trash dress where she like drives away.
Yeah.
And I guess that really was like 60 feet of just stuff.
Yeah.
And like I think I was reading something that Emma had to be like sewn into that dress. They had to like sew part of it on. And then obviously some of it was like CGI'd on there, but like a good chunk of that dress was like an actual dress, and it was super heavy, and she like could barely move in it.
Yeah.
But like it's like so much of the dresses in that are not even just the dresses, just like the everyday outfits. Like so well done. Well done. I loved seeing the fashion in it and seeing all of the different designs. Like incredible.
Yeah, the back and forth between the Baroness and Cruella, from show to show, was really good.
I loved that.
It was really good. And Cruella just won up to her every single time.
Like she's like, and like the part that like I knew she was gonna try something with was when she was making that dress for that like gala or whatever. That they ended up putting the dresses in the safe. When she was putting like the beads on the dress, the bead thingies, and she got them delivered by Horace. And I was like, what is wrong with those beads? Like what?
I didn't even think about it.
I was thinking about it because I was like, are they knockoffs? Like, is she gonna
Yeah.
steal the real ones and sell them to make
Yeah.
money? Like, is that like the thing that they're trying to do? But when they made it so that like they were trying to steal the dresses, so they would have to put them in enclosed little safe space, and they opened that door and all those moths flew out and all the dresses were destroyed. I
Phenomenal.
was so impressed. I was like,
That was
that
so strategic.
so like particular, like so well thought out.
Yeah.
I loved that. I thought that was wonderful. And then when Cruella dies and she sends all the dresses and everything and all of the outfits and the wigs and everything to everybody that's invited, and everybody shows up in the same thing.
That was
When they
my
like
level of
tackled
petty.
when they tackled that old lady, I like
Oh, yeah.
she was like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
It was so good. It was, but like the outfits, I literally cannot get over how incredible like every single outfit, every single dress was like.
Yeah.
And I love that you really see how just like I'm just looking at pictures of the dress. They're so good.
Yeah.
Like these
yeah.
outfits are incredible. And like
Yeah.
and then the outfit where she had like the future. I'm just looking at these and they're
Yeah.
stunning.
It,
Like
it was very well done design wise, because like I'm not into high fashion, right? Like I don't pay attention to high fashion and stuff like that. But this makes you kind of like
it's
want
like,
to pay attention to
yeah,
it.
it makes you understand because like her stuff was absolutely high fashion,
Yeah.
but a lot of it was like wearable high fashion. I feel like
yeah.
a lot of times you see
Everyday
like
type of
high,
thing.
yeah, you see like
Yeah.
super high fashion stuff on runways and you're just like, nobody's actually gonna ever wear that,
Yeah.
are they?
Yeah.
But then you see like some of the stuff that she did, it's high fashion, but it's also wearable.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that that's what I loved about it. I loved her like everyday outfits, like Cruella's everyday outfits, Estella's everyday outfits were always so cute.
Mhm.
And I really, really hope they win an award, like an Oscar. Like there's no way that they won't at least be nominated for an Oscar.
They should be. But to be completely honest, this is why like I don't even, with these awards, I'm not even like focused on them anymore, because where someone should win something, or you think
They usually
should at
don't.
least be nominated, they're not even in consideration. Like it doesn't even make sense sometimes.
That does happen quite often.
But I agree that set design and just
Set design,
just everything was just perfect.
On point.
It was.
It was literally so well done.
Yeah. And the time, what was this? This was based like in the
I think
20s?
it was the 70s. No.
70s. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was like the 70s.
Well,
yeah, because they talk
okay,
about when she was in school, it was like the 60s. So
60s.
like when she's
yeah,
when she's like when she's an adult, it's the 70s.
70s. Yeah. So like the this was in London, took place in London, but honestly, it didn't. What I liked about this was that it didn't come across like cartoonish the way like the animated films would have been.
Yeah,
it's based in realism, but it doesn't stray away from what the original thought.
Yeah, it's like you still get like the feel of what the original film was. And I think the best part about that is when you do have that after credits scene and they get the puppies, you know?
Yeah.
So then you find out, oh my God, that's where Anita and Roger get their puppies, which I'm just processing. Oh.
That she said
Anita and Roger get puppies from the same litter. And then those puppies get together later and make more puppies.
Oh my God.
Did we just have an epiphany?
Incest of dogs.
Oh my God.
What the hell, man?
Oh no.
They got to figure out some way to change that. I didn't even think about that.
I didn't either until just now. I was like, yeah, they got the puppies and then they get together. And I was like, and the puppies get together. Wait.
Well, hold
I
up.
mean,
Hold up. There were 3 Dalmatians, right?
yes.
So, well, never mind. That doesn't work. Never mind.
Regardless.
Never mind. The path I was just about to go, just that should not be taken. That's still half.
Yeah. I had a dog growing up
Never mind.
who had like the same like dad and technically grandfather. Because like the people I got him from, the neighbor's dog got under the fence and impregnated like the mom, and the mom had puppies. And then when those puppies grew up, that same dog from the neighbors got under the fence again and impregnated one of them. And that's where I got my dog from. So he was like,
They didn't do anything well with that fence.
yeah, I think it was like a lab, like it was a black lab. So it kept digging under the fence.
Oh man. Yeah.
And I've had a lab before and he liked to dig. So, but it happened. Yeah. But it was a great dog. He was a great dog. It's like bad genetically because it can cause like aggression and stuff. But if you like raise the dog well, then it's usually okay.
Oh my God. So
now we're caught up on dog incest.
Because I was about to ask a different question. Now I'm so caught up in this.
I'm sorry. It really hit me like a punch in the face. I was like, wait.
And this entire time I was saying, I was like, that's such a great way to introduce the next film.
And I was like, oh, it's such a great way to tie everything in.
Yeah.
But like maybe it's not the same dogs. Maybe, she gets the Dalmatian puppies and they grow up and they die because they're old, and then they get new Dalmatian puppies because they fell in love with Dalmatians.
I'm hoping that's the case. But the time period from when she took over the mansion to when those puppies were born. Yikes.
Oh no. I wonder if they thought about that.
That just made me slick nauseous. Because now this is literally all I'm gonna be thinking about when watching Cruella 2. This is literally the only thing I'm gonna be thinking about. Like,
I'm wondering what the premise of Cruella 2 is going to be. Is it going to be like how in the movie where she's trying to get all the puppies?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be 101 Dalmatians based
themed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they could take it in like a whole different direction, and it's not what happens in the movies. Or in the original like cartoon, it's like more of like Cruella just being like a big fashion designer or something. I don't know, but
she's got to be the villain.
I literally like. I'm so obsessed with these outfits. Like I'm just looking at more of them. I
forgot about the outfits. I'm more so thinking about this incest. Like this is disturbing on so many levels. Oh, I remember what I was going to ask you. Did you pick up on Jasper being in love with Cruella?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm wondering how that dynamic.
Why else would he have gotten her that job?
Yeah.
Because he wanted her to succeed.
Yeah, but like it could be interpreted as just friends as well, right? Like just wanted to do something nice with a friend.
But I just think like in general, like with everything else that was like going on, like there was definitely like a lot of little hints that like he liked her,
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to progress if anything happens in the sequel.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
Wow.
I can't wait though.
I have so many questions.
You're like, there's a lot going on in my head right now.
Yeah.
But okay, so how did you feel about the twist of who the Baroness really was?
It made sense because like I was the entire film. I'm like, okay, this they mirror each other so well, and like I was thinking, okay, so this is where she picks up her personality or just different things that makes Cruella who Cruella is. That's where I just figured, oh, she just got all of that working with the Baroness.
Yeah.
Like you saw hints of it as a child and stuff like that, but I just figured that it was more so developed at that point. Where we see all along it's been there. It's just that it took for this this twist to come about
For it to be like,
be unveiled.
oh, yeah. And I think what's his name? Knew, obviously he knew the
All
whole time.
along.
Oh my goodness. That's not what I meant to click on. But like the butler, he knew obviously because he's the one who gave the baby.
Yeah.
So I think when he started to see, I liked him a lot. He was very protective over Estella.
Yeah.
And he was very much like, I know who this baby is. Like, I am gonna make sure that, or I know who this kid is, this girl. Like, there's no way that she's not this same child.
Yeah. Especially with the hair color.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she had the red hair for most of the movie, so he didn't really know she had that split. But I think when Cruella came out, he was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really liked his character. I like how he did save her. When she was in the fire, like literally about to die, and you just see that person, and I was like,
I knew exactly who that was.
I was like, that's the butler guy, isn't it?
Yeah.
John the valet. That's what he's credited as. But yeah, so I was like, and I was really excited, and like it was very interesting. So when the Baroness was shown to be Estella's birth mother, I think we kind of obviously we figured it out like a little bit earlier, but I think it was just like once it was revealed, it was just like, I love the way it was revealed when she says to her though, when she's like mother, and she goes, yeah, of course you were mine. It all makes sense. Like the only reason you're as good as you are is because you're mine. Like
I love that interaction. I thought they played off each other very well.
Oh, they did. They played opposite so well. Emma Stone, Emma Thompson. Emma Thompson is just, I just love her so much. She's just a gem.
Okay, was that Emma Thompson? Was that the lady that played Anita in the live action?
I do believe so. Let me pull it up really quick.
Because I was looking, I couldn't find anything.
She's also no. That's not her.
Okay.
She's gosh darn it. She plays Professor Trelawney in Harry Potter.
Yes.
She plays Nanny McPhee.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
It's a good movie. That one's cute. She's in Love Actually. I forgot about that. Oh, Treasure Planet. I forgot she plays Captain Amelia. She's literally, I love her so much. I'm trying to think of who. No, let me see. I think in 101 Dalmatians. In 96, Glenn Close plays Miss Cruella de Vil. Wait, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no. Jolie Richardson plays Anita.
Okay.
And she's in a lot of. She's in so much stuff. No, so it's not the same person. I don't know why I was like, yeah, that's her. It's not her.
I like the entire film I'm saying, I'm like, that's gotta be her.
They do have very similar like features. Like they're both like blonde British women with like blue eyes. They do have very similar features, but no, they're different. But yeah, I loved everything. We're doing ratings. 20 out of 10. I fucking loved it. I've watched it like 5 times. Like it's so good.
Have?
Yeah, I literally watched it when it first came out on Disney Plus. And then I've watched it like 1 or 2 times since then. And then we were like, oh, we're gonna do Cruella. So I watched it like 2 more times over the past couple of days.
Wow.
Like I just put it on to like in the background because I was like to refresh my brain. While I was like doing stuff in my room, like cleaning and organizing. But like I watched it like the past like couple nights. Like it's a great movie. I love the movie. It's 100% like I would love to be in this. I would love to be in this movie as like a not even like a secondary character, like a thirdary character. Like I would just love to be in like the second one or something. It's just it's a great film. It's a fun family film. It's good entertainment for like adults too. Like it's really well done. The cinematography is great. The
Oh, yeah.
costuming and design of it, every aspect of this movie I enjoyed.
Yeah, no, I loved it, and
Watchability is 150%. Like,
yeah, obviously.
what did it even get? Like, what ratings did it even get? It only got a 7.4 on IMDb.
See, this is the reason why I don't
I
pay
hate these like
attention
rating
to ratings
things.
anymore. I just leave them alone because that doesn't make sense. This was a very well done movie. I give it 10 out of 10. Um, I think for sure I could watch this again.
Rotten Tomatoes got a no, never mind. Hold on. Rotten Tomatoes also 74%, but audience score is 97%.
Yeah. So.
With 5,000 plus ratings. So, it did well.
It did. I liked it, and I'm excited for the sequel because I can only imagine where they're gonna take that. She's gonna try and make a Dalmatian coat. There is no way that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, because they already made the one. She's like, she killed my dogs.
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
she like didn't.
Yeah.
But so what the critics say about Cruella can't quite answer the question of why its title character needed an origin story. But this dazzling visual feast is awfully fun to watch whenever it's leading ladies lock horns. So they even said that it was a great movie, but they give it a 74%.
Yeah. See, I these ratings from critics,
I don't trust critics.
I don't trust critics either. I think we're gonna need to. I think in order for me to actually be able to trust critics, it's gonna be that either critics got to be more so like from our generation for me to
Yeah,
really
dude, that's what I
like,
think. I feel like these critics are like 65-year-old men who don't give a
yeah,
shit. Like
they're
it's like
stuck
in
in old
Ratatouille.
film. Yeah,
It's like Ratatouille with the
yeah,
critic there, and
yeah,
he's just
yeah,
always grumpy and
yeah,
angry until he gets that one meal, and he's like, oh, it's a
yeah.
transfer. That's probably one of my favorite like scene transitions in like film.
I have to watch that movie again. I've only seen
Well,
it
because
once.
it's like, so in that transition, he's the critic sitting there and he takes the bite of the food, and as soon as he bites it, he looks up, and it's like it's like far like zooms in to his eye, and then I know, Bubba, it zooms in on his eye, and then it zooms out, and he's a kid at home eating his mom's,
Oh,
and it's
okay,
just
okay,
so beautiful.
okay.
So it like zooms in and then zooms out. It's just, I don't know, I just really loved the way that like this, I don't know, it
Yeah,
looked really cool.
yeah.
um but yeah, so like a gazillion out of 10. I would literally love to be in this movie, or maybe the next one, Disney. Let me know. I'll send you my headshots.
Yeah, yeah.
Disney. I know I just said that you're really greedy, but listen, so am I. I'm greedy for some work. So hit me up.
Yeah.
Get me into Cruella too. Maybe I can be mean.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
maybe I can be Cruella's new villain, like
yeah,
her antagonist of the movie, or
yeah,
maybe I could
yeah,
be her like best friend. Maybe I could be her mentee.
yeah.
Maybe she has another mentee, her little assistant with glasses running around trying to get everything done. I can do that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I very much enjoyed it. Do you think we have time to do a few little things? So this new little thing that I think would be fun
Mhm.
is guessing the movie based on a bad description of it. It's like badly described
Oh,
movies.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we
Rapid
do a few
fire.
rapid fire. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what's up.
Okay. A grumpy emo chick ponders whether to sleep with a corpse or a dog over several years.
Wait, what?
A grumpy emo chick ponders whether to sleep with a corpse or a dog over several years. No.
I'm not yeah, please. I'm because that's disturbing.
Twilight.
That's really good. That's really
Okay.
good. Yeah.
So here's the next one. A group spends 9 hours returning jewelry.
Oceans.
No. A group spends 9 hours returning jewelry. Ugh.
Oh,
Our
man.
listeners are screaming the name of the movies.
I hope they are, because I can't. That threw me for a loop too.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. It's like once you hear them, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, duh.
All right, here's the next one. Everyone tries the ice bucket challenge.
Aquaman.
No, Titanic.
Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah, and Jack lost.
Yeah, he did not
Jack
win the ice
lost.
bucket challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Boy spends 7 years being a third wheel.
Robin?
No, Harry Potter.
Yes. Okay, man.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm gonna be horrible with these.
These are you're doing so bad. Let's find one. Oh, this one sounds ridiculous. A guy that's alone in the forest kisses a dead body while 7 other guys watch.
Snow White.
Yep. You got that one real quick.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is a human being for 3 seconds.
Human being for 3 seconds. James and a Giant Peach.
No, Home Alone. Home Alone 2. When he like tells Kevin which way to go or whatever in the lobby. Girl wakes up to a stranger on top of her in a bed. It's cool though because he's hot.
Shrek.
No, Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty. Wow, I knew it had its own fairy tales. Okay.
A noseless guy has an unhealthy obsession with a teenage boy.
Not Pinocchio.
A noseless man.
Noseless man has a strange. You said a noseless man has a what?
A strange obsession with a teenage boy.
That sounds very pedophilish.
I mean,
what is it?
Harry Potter.
Okay. All right. All right. Noseless guy. Okay.
And do one more.
Yeah.
Okay, let me find a good one.
Oh man. This is gonna be horrible.
Kid comes out of the closet.
That's the description.
That kid comes out of the closet.
Monsters Inc.
No, that's funny though.
What is it?
Chronicles of Narnia.
Was that really a closet though?
Yeah, it was a wardrobe. A wardrobe is kind of like a closet. I mean, it's a little bit different.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Hold on. Let's do one more.
Right.
All right. People drink coffee for 10 years. This is a show.
The Office.
No, Friends.
Oh man.
I'll save this link. We'll do a few more of these next week, okay?
Yeah, please, let's do it.
But I just thought it was really fun. We were doing them at work yesterday, and I was like, I'm recording tomorrow. You need to send me this link so I can do this on my podcast. And my coworker, she was like, I've listened to your show. It's actually really funny. I was like, you listen to the show?
Wow. Hey.
And she was like, yeah. And I was so, hi, I thank you for listening.
What's her name?
Irene.
Hi, Ideen. How you doing?
So she watches. So I thank you.
Thanks for listening. Thank you.
Yeah, she said it was really funny. So
good.
That's good.
I'm glad she likes it.
All right. I think we are good. It is.
You're good.
We're good at what, like an hour 20-ish?
Somewhere in that range, yeah.
Ish. That's
Yeah.
not too bad.
Not at all.
Ooh, more yawns. Now I have the rest of my day to do my other job that I also don't really want, but it pays my bills. So what's a girl to do?
Yep.
But thank you all so much for listening this week. As always, if you have any suggestions for movies you want us to watch, it doesn't have to be brand new. It can be from like 30 years ago. Like, I don't care. I would love to get more movies that I haven't seen.
Yes, that's the
So
point of this
anything,
film. That's the point of this podcast too, being able to get into other things we've never watched before. So
yeah.
please.
So any suggestions, send them our way. You want to go over all of our socials? Go through the socials?
Yes, give yours.
Sorry, I looked over my dog's like, Mom, I have to go out. Literally, this is his look. He's like, with his like big old eyes. He's like excited. He's like, I really gotta go, Mom. So mine is it's just all at Jessica Lemon with 2 L's. So that's like Instagram, Twitter, I think my Facebook, as well as my other show, Sour, Sweet, and Spooky. I have a new office now. So I actually have an office so I can record. So I'm actually going to be hopefully working on the newest episode of Sour, Sweet, and Spooky soon.
Can't wait.
I've just been working. Yeah, I've just been working 2 jobs. So we've been squeezing in recordings for this, but I haven't really had time to sit down for a few hours and research the other show. So I'm excited. I have the space now. So Sour, Sweet, and Spooky is definitely going to be starting back up soon. Honestly, it's probably going to be like October 1st again. That's when I started it. So October 1st is my year with Sour, Sweet, and Spooky.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited. I think that's going to be like the relaunch of it, just because now I will have I have a place to record, and I'm excited.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's that. So at Sour, Sweet, Spooky on like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that fun stuff. So that's me.
All right. And you can follow me at Derrick_OTS, DERRICK, black way to spell it. Or mainly you could just follow the OTS page. I would prefer you follow that than follow me. So at OTS guys, that's on all platforms, youtube.com/OTS guys. Visit the website, otsguys.com. You can see all the stuff we have going on, have coming up. I do need to go ahead and revamp that site because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be taken down.
You got to update it with me. I'm not on there.
I need your picture and bio for that. I thought I said that long ago, but yeah. So
well, I just got headshots done, so I'll pick one and send it to you.
yes. And just follow us, everything. We have other shows. We have of course, Realish. We have other shows that you can check out. So please do that. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
All right. We will catch you guys next week.
Bye, guys.